Welcome to FX Street. We're going to look at three cryptos that are probably looking at their bottoms being in and may reverse here very soon. Before we do that, though, I'd encourage you to head on over to YouTube to the FX Street channel. Hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter as well at FXS Crypto and myself at Just Analysis One. Taking a look here at the first of the ones that look like they're establishing a bottom. It's when we talk about it every once in a while, but sometimes it's like a lot of things that trend. Stellar is one that seems to go in and out of favor with people. But one of the things that Stellar has going for it is, it's I just want this is kind of hard to like fathom, but a lot of altcoins that pop up, that you know of, that you hear about, like Dogecoin, Litecoin, sometimes Omisco or OMG. Some of these altcoins have been around for a while. Some of them are relatively new, but almost all of them have hit a new all-time high at some point in the last year or two. Stellar is one that has not. Stellar has not made a new all-time high. You have to go back to, I believe it's 2017 is the last time that Stellar hit had an all-time high. Yeah, that's right. Back here. You'd have to go back to January 3rd of 2018. That was the last time that Stellar made a new all-time high. So it's been quite a while. Stellar is one of the few altcoins that major altcoins that are have a substantial market cap, and one of the only old ones that has not hit a new all-time high. So that doesn't really have anything to do right now with why it might be at a market bottom, but there's several patterns that have developed over the last several weeks on Stellar's chart. The first one is this falling wedge pattern that has some responsive buying coming out of it. The other on the weekly chart is you have these three consecutive white candlesticks. Sometimes this is called a three white soldiers pattern. And the pattern definition varies from market to market, but regardless, when you have three green candles or three white candles moving up from a swing low, that can kind of trigger, whether it's a broad trend change, who knows, but at least a pretty strong corrective move that may return it back up to the Kijun-sen in that 30-cent range. Another one that we don't really ever go over here at FX Street, but it's one that popped up on my screener was WAX protocol, WAX. A lot of this has to do with how it's moved and where it's kind of found its support structure at. It's been pretty much straight down for quite a while, going all the way back to November, the week of November 19th, 2021, where it hit that all-time high, and it's just kind of just careened further south. Volume is dumped off. You just don't see a lot of participation in it until it got into the cloud here on the weekly chart. When you look at this, you can also see what's happened here is there have been some attempts to pamp it up, but it just gets pushed down lower and lower. And even though the selling's been pretty hardcore here ever since the beginning of March, something changed. Actually, kind of hints of it changed in the last week of February, but it's the bodies of these candles have remained inside the cloud, and it's not a very thick cloud. So one of the things that looks very interesting here is how it may react if it can get above the 2022 volume point of control and roughly 33 cents or so. If there's a weekly close around that 33-cent range, it's likely to have a fairly open and sustained move towards possibly that 382 fib retracement, or even higher towards the Kijun-sen. That's in the 56 to 58-cent range. But last week's candlestick close, even though it didn't look that impressive, but just that, and the ranges of the bodies have not been significant. But last week's close was important. The low of the week bounced right off of the bottom of the cloud, and the close of the week was the high of the week. That when that occurs, really doesn't matter how massive that candlestick is. That's generally a good sign that you should anticipate some follow through with the buying. Although I say that, and then I look at this candle back here from the week of February 4th, and that is not the case. But one thing that is happening here is that the composite index has a very clear example of regular bullish divergence going on, and it's at an angle now that could push above the slow moving average. And so, if in a nutshell, if Wax Protocol can get to 33, close the weekly, at least above the Tenkan-sen, there should be a substantial move higher there. And just the rounded bottom that's here, there's a lot of evidence pointing to the lows being found here. And the third one I want to talk about here is one that I wrote about last week, I believe, is on Phantom. Now, Phantom several weeks ago, or I think it was last month, maybe a little longer, I can't recall, but two of its officers, we'll call them, two important people left, and there was an article that came out that was false, and it was retracted and then deleted. And then the Phantom Foundation itself put out a really, really good response to it, because, I mean, Phantom had been drifting low ever since hitting some highs, and that was happening, but then there was some fear, uncertainty, and doubt that hit Phantom, and it kind of, exacerbated the price action moving lower. Fundamentally, nothing has changed with Phantom. So, I mean, the people behind the project are important, but these two, those two people, you can investigate it yourself. Those two people really didn't have much to do with the ongoing operation of Phantom and how it's kind of developed and gotten to where it's at. And so, from a pure value play, I love where it's at. This is and this is just my opinion, I think this is a freaking steal where it's at. Look at last week's candlestick. I mean, if you're a candlestick fanatic, and you're probably looking at last week's candlestick close and frothing at the mouth and just like going nuts because that is a pretty bullish looking candlestick, despite the fact that last week it made new all-time, not new all-time, but new 2022 lows, then it had a strong bounce. It's positioned beautifully for a mean reversion setup to at least the weekly Tenkan-sen that is up near 180. But I would be very, very surprised if it didn't get to $2 over the next couple weeks. There's a ton of value attached to, and this is just fundamentals. This is, you have to do your own due diligence, but there's a ton of value attached to Phantom, as far as a yield generating crypto, that I think is just weird that it's still down here. And if people only trade cryptos based on sentiment, it makes total sense why it's down here. But from looking at it from a fundamental perspective and a technical perspective, it probably won't last down here for very long. And if there's a true alt season PAMP coming up, Phantom is going to be one of the first ones that's going to get a lot of capital thrown at it. And so I anticipate it going up to roughly that $2 range over the next couple of weeks, without much stopping it. Unless there's nukes or something going on, this should have a pretty good chance of testing the $2 level. That's where the extended 2021 volume point of control is at. So that's where I see that going. Other than that, we'll update these as they need to be. But I hope the rest of you have a great rest of your week. I look forward to talking with you in a future video.